Aloha mai kako. We have with us today Chad Paishan, our navigator and captain aboard Makaliki.
This is my trusty first mate, Leohu Colburn.
And we're here to teach you and show you how we manage our lines aboard Makaliki and how we can also take those skills on the land.
So today we'll be utilizing several different lines, those that we use aboard the va'a, and also lines and other things that we use on land. So we'll be using some of our ropes from the va'a, or kaula. We'll also be using a lariat, cowboy rope. We'll be using a power cord, and we'll also be using a garden hose. So all of these things help us to understand how we utilize these lines and how we incorporate them, whether you're on the va'a or on the moku. Let's go.
So for coiling, to begin, we go from the end and get to the center of our chest, then drop the line, and continue by opening our arms in full length, and we call that an anana. And if we continue to open our arms in full length while we make our coils, then our coils will be consistent and organized, nice and clean. And then we're going to continue to do this till we reach the end of the line. It's also the same for something like a cowboy rope. You're gonna open up all the way, make a little twist and turn, opening your arms every time, keeping consistent your coils. Nice and clean.
So most of the times the kaula that we're working with, we can handle on our own. But sometimes we have kaulas or cords that are really long. So like in this example, we're using this power cord that's really long. And so a lot of times we'll do them on the ground so that we can do it safely because it's a long piece of kaula or cord. So you're going to start off getting a good wide stance, especially like if we're on the deck of the canoe, because the canoe is sometimes rocking, so you want to get a good wide stance for balance. Get that stance about shoulder width apart, and then we'll start to coil on the ground. So you start to make circles right in front of you on the ground, keeping your balance, and you'll be working in this sense with this cord so that you can coil them evenly. And as Leohu's doing, giving you a great example that a lot of times you'll be going back and forth, especially if we're standing on the va'a. But if you're on land, you can do the same thing, right? And you can see as she's coiling, they're all even. It's keeping a good rhythm itself. And this really long cord ends up being pretty easily handled if you can do it this way, as an example. So even if you got a really long water hose at home, you can use the same technique that we talked about. Keep your feet wide apart, about shoulder length, and then you can coil on the ground with your water hose so that the same techniques we use on the canoe, we use on that. So again, a lot of times if the line is too long, you got an awesome partner that you can work with, and they can actually help you with the line. So on the canoe, same thing. A lot of times we're keeping our feet about shoulder width apart so that we got balance. We're on the deck of the canoe, and we'll take our line, and same thing like Leo started off with, right? Take the half. So we'll put that over your partner's arms. They'll use their arms like if we're on the cleat on the canoe, if we were hanging these lines, and you just want to keep them consistent so that when we get to the end, when you're bundling them, they all end up being a lot more easier to handle. A lot of times on the canoe, because you're in a confined space, a lot of times you need the help of the other crew members to actually get you to this point, to help to handle the lines. Same thing, when you get to the end, you're handing it off to your crew, they're helping you out, get these bumped.
So after we finish coiling all of our lines, we do something called bundling. And bundling helps keep the lines organized and ready for storage.
So a lot of times when we're working and we're getting into bundling, you're usually working with two ends of the line. One would be the working end of the line, and the other is the bitter end. So basically the working end is one end of the line that you're usually handling. The bitter end is the complete opposite side of the line, or the end of the line, that really you're not handling.
So we want to make sure that the bitter end is coming down the kaula, not sticking up. Then with the working end, we're going to make a wrap about a third of the way down from the top of the kaula and create an X. So if you can see here, Chadi made an X with the line, and what he's going to do is keep it nice and tight and continue to wrap his way up the kaula for at least 3 wraps. Then what we're going to do is make something called a piko. So you're going to take the line, make just a loop in the line like Chadi did, send it through the hole, and then take it and go over the top. Then you're going to take the working end and pull the slack around nice and tight. And now this bundle is ready for storage.
So mahalo for joining us today. At least hopefully we gave you some ideas of how we keep things organized on the ba'a, and hopefully organized at home on the moku as well. But in working with the lines that we brought from the ba'a, also a cowboy rope, a lariat, also power cord, or garden hose. So see what you got around your home or around your ba'a, and hopefully this can help you out as well.
If you have any questions, contact nakalaiba'a@gmail.com. Mahalo.